you have a call service.
Well, here it is, everyone. If you guys tuned into our live chat on Saturday, you knew it was here, but it's now all cleaned up, ready for, it already had its pictures, it's ready for test drives. This is the all-new all-new XT6. So if you guys are familiar with Cadillac's naming scheme, any of their crossovers going forward are going to be labeled with XT and then a number based upon their size. So we already had the XT4 that came out earlier this year, which is their smallest. The XT5, which was been around for a couple years now, which was kind of their mid-size, larger two-road SUV, and now they have 3 rows. So if you're not looking for something as large as the Escalade or the ESV, they have something perfectly sized for you here. So this is the sport trim. So you can see it does have a special grille and that nice mesh grille, as well as if we go inside, you will also see that it has a lot of carbon fiber accents versus wood trim and the kind of aluminum insert. So we'll go ahead here. You got that nice large blinker on the side that will actually, right underneath here, is actually a cornering light that will come on when you turn. You got those nice bright projector lights in there, LEDs, to really help make everything visible at night, or even in rainy weather. It's amazing how much of a difference that is. Right behind it is the Acadia, which is the closest thing in the GM lineup to size with the XT6, but I believe the XT6 is slightly larger. See, those sport trim has a different taillight too, where it's more clear and kind of a little less red to it, kind of helping with I know a lot of people will go out and they'll black out the taillights or something to kind of get that more muted look. Well, if you like that, no longer do you have to go and get them tinted. And they do come in the sport trim, clear. You will see we have the backup camera for the surround vision right down here. And then up here, actually, is going to be for the rear view mirror. That is going to be a camera that's on all the time. Helps with 300% better visibility, so by the time they stop showing up in that camera, you can see them in your rear view mirrors. And of course, this is going to also have side blind zone alert too, so even if you aren't looking in your mirrors, you can quick glance over. You'll see that little car icon. Let's see if we get enough light. It is keyless entry, keyless ignition, so it is just the Cadillac key that we've come to know and love. That will just walk up and go ahead and open her up. Power programmable liftgate here, if I can speak right. So this liftgate I can pull it down to say here and program it if you have a lower ceiling or a garage and still need to get in. Or if you happen to be shorter and can't quite reach there, we can easily help you program it to where it works for you as well. I'd have to say I am a 6'3", and I can stand completely underneath this hatch when it's wide open, not worrying about drilling my head. I'd have to say even in its larger vehicles like the Enclave, and I'd even say even our Yukons and Tahoes, this is the largest opening hatch we have. So if you're a taller person and always worried about hitting your head, not necessarily a worry with this. If you're much more than 6'3", maybe you'll have to duck a little bit, but I know there's not a ton of people out there. So we do have powered rear seats here, so I could fold down these and raise them up, as well as you'll see in the second here, this is to lay down that second row as well. Do have some cargo accessories here, as well as quite a bit more storage underneath here too. Oh, I will also point this out, the nice thing about Cadillac too, a lot of things what you're getting with that is a lot of attention to detail. So if you look at a Cadillac, you have all of this nice carpeting material around here to really help deaden the road noise. In the second row, we'll lean over here. I briefly mentioned it on Saturday's walk around, but we do have the USB Type-C outlets in the back now, so Cadillac is going to the newest version of USB here. And you'll see right behind it there is some speakers for the third row. Both of the middle rows do slide forward and backwards as well as recline. We will jump back there here shortly. On the passenger side, we do have the slidable seat, so if you put a car seat or have something latched into the seat, you can just grab this lever here and the whole seat will tip forward and slide. So if you have anything locked down, you don't have to remove that to get into that third row. Another really nice thing, since these are powered rear seats, you can raise and lower them right from here. So if they were down from the back in the past, no longer do you have to open up that back hatch to get that third row to sit up. So we can just go ahead here and power that right up. We will jump in and shut the doors here. You can notice how much quieter it gets. We don't have all that nice road noise since we are right off of the strip here in Mandan. As well as we did lose the music and intercom system as well. So you can see, being 6'3", I do have a little bit of legroom here, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I can slide it back even farther. So I do have quite a bit there. If I started this up, I would have temperature control back here as well as heated middle row seats. So the third row does not have heated, but I can have heated seats in the second row. As well as you'll see, there's a lot of nice new vents here on the side. And something that is exclusive to XT5 in the GM lineup of midsize SUVs is we do get a panoramic sunroof here. The Acadia, the Enclave, the other ones that are all 3 rows are going to be dual sunroofs, with one that opens up in the front and another one back here. So exclusive to the XT6 is going to be that panoramic glass for 3 rows. You will see you do have vents for the third row up top as well, so plenty of circulation. It is a little bit, it's getting a little toasty in here with it being off. You also notice, if I can find it on camera in my finger, we do have microphones in the headliner that are going to be working with the Bose system that produce noise canceling, so where you are going to have a very, very quiet ride. And you can see the Bose. And here's what I'm talking about with that sport trim. You do get that carbon fiber with the aluminum accents here. Now let's jump over to the, I'll show you the kind of the difference of how the driver's side seat folds up. So you have the passenger side, which will have that where the whole seat will tilt forward, so you can leave a car seat there and still be able to access. On the driver's side, it goes a little bit different. So it will tilt and then fold. Actually, it will actually fold forward a little bit and collapse. You can see where the seat will actually break away here to collapse, so you can get it in a little bit easier on that side, with controls for that third row here as well. So power folding controls are here. And if you're the one buying the Cadillac, here's the seat you're going to want to be in. So heated and cooled seats up front. We will go ahead and turn the music off, because I could tell you how amazing the speakers are in the Bose system, because it does sound really nice, but I can't demo that over a video since it depends on the microphone of my phone here as well as your speaker at home. So if you want to hear the speaker system, you definitely have to come in person. But get a nice interior. I can spin it around here. Those chevron inserts that really are the feature of Cadillac. You get that nice point. Being the sport trim, once again, you get a lot more of this carbon fiber accent. The big thing is that we've been having in all our Cadillacs is you do have that, I mentioned it, that rear view camera mirror. So you can see right now It is a live view off of the back camera. No blind zones due to rear passengers or support beams for safety. And if I flip this, you'll see, oh, there's a normal camera, or a normal mirror. Nice with this is the second generation of the rear view camera mirror. You can see it in our pickups as well, but you're going to have the, right here you have a couple options. I can switch the brightness, I can actually zoom in and out, I can then also tilt it up and down. So if you want it lined up a little bit different, you certainly can. Down, and it will automatically transfer to your other vehicles that also have that user profile set up. So it is much quicker, as well as they have moved some of the navigation, the quick keys from the top to down in the bottom corner, and those will also work with this panel down here. So everyone is familiar with touchscreen. Looks like we lost signal there for a bit. So where I kind of left off, you do have all of those quick keys down there. Everyone's familiar with how a touchscreen works. You can slide, and much like your cell phone, you can slide between the different menus. You can jump to your home screen. But while you're driving, it's not always the easiest to kind of reach over here, and you have to look where the navigation is. There isn't just a tactile button you can hit. Well, actually in the new XT6 there is now. So they have moved and actually given you tactile buttons, which right where your hand's going to be while driving. Your armrest is right here. Your hand's going to droop right down there. So you have your scroll wheel, which will be able to scroll through all your different selections. You can press down to lock that into place, as well as you have your quick link for your phone, your navigation, and your audio. With your volume knob going to be here, and your skip, or your reverse and skip there. You do have the newer precision shift, so in the past you've had to press it up and to the left for reverse. Now it is just straightforward for reverse. You still have that input command key over here, so you don't have to worry about accidentally hitting it while you're driving and going into a different gear or something else that you don't want. And you do have park up there, so you can quickly hit that button, and just a couple seconds it's in park here. So guess I will also mention over on the sides here, I did mention Cadillac Q, but on the sides here are going to be where you can turn on and off your lane keep assist. So people who have been driving a GM vehicle are probably familiar with it, but for those of you who haven't, what lane keep assist is, there is a small camera behind the rear view mirror that is watching the lanes of the road. Once you're going over 40 miles an hour, it does activate. And if you start drifting out of your lane, it will actually put a little bit of a nudge into the steering wheel to keep you kind of in your lane. Nothing that will overpower and rip the steering wheel out of your hand. In fact, if you're not really paying attention and looking for it, you might not even notice it. On the other side, we have your park sensors, which also, if you're familiar with driving a GM in the past, those are going to be those sonic sensors that are in the front bumper and the back. So as you're driving forward or backwards, and you're coming up to a curb, or if they're pulling out of a parking space and somebody comes up behind you, it will warn you of that. In fact, when you put it into reverse, you'll actually, let's see if I can, since I have an Acadia right behind me, if I will get it here, you actually get this readout, and you can see that sensor is picking up something that's a little bit close, and it will double with the rear view backup camera. You're getting that icon, and your seat is vibrating too. This also has the surround vision, so you can see you have all of the surround vision of the vehicle, and then you do have quite a few options for the camera. So I could actually do a wide angle lens, I could zoom in right in if I had a hitch on this vehicle, I could actually get a wider range around the thing, as well as I can zoom in right on the tires. And if I tap this, I'll actually go to the front ones too, so you can actually see those turning. And you can see all of those will be forward facing as well. So, and then right below that is going to be your park assist. So that will take, if you're worried about parallel parking or even perpendicular parking, that is a nice feature for you. You can tap that, it will take control of the steering wheel. All you have to do is run the gas and the brake, and it will kind of prompt you through the different positions there and take you right into your parking spot. And then right below is probably the most controversial thing that we've had in General Motors products here for a while. I personally love it in the vehicles that I've driven, but I know some people definitely in rural areas where, you know, they don't want it turning off at every stop sign they start at. This, you can disable that. So what that is your vehicle to save in-town fuel economy. When you stop at a stoplight, it will turn that vehicle off for up to 2 minutes in the right conditions. So it's not going to turn off every single time. It will only turn off when the battery's fully charged. If if it's 110 degrees outside and you need the AC, of course it's not going to turn your vehicle off. Or vice versa, if it's negative 20 that we deal with in January and February and you need the heat, it's not going to turn that off either. So you will also see, speaking of kind of the heat, we can segment into, you do have heated and cooled seats. And I didn't even tap the button, so depending on the temperature inside as well as out, it automatically knew to turn on those cooled seats for you. Your driver display is now a different layout. So in the past, if you've driven Cadillacs in the past, you'll know up and down was how you kind of switch. Or well, first you had to hit right or left to open up the menu to scroll over to say if you wanted to go to information to your navigation or your radio. Now it's still left and right, but now you don't have to go right and then down. It's just right in a row. So left, right, you can scroll through the different quick menus, and then it's up and down for all the different pages. So they simplified that a little bit. I can't show you as much since we are in demo mode. Let's scroll out here. You have another place to change your audio up and down here, as well as your skip tracks. On the other side is really gonna, so this is all of your entertainment and kind of information controls on this side. On this side is gonna be your cruise control and heated steering wheel and collision. So here's your gap adjust for your collision detection. Of course, all your cruise control things here from your cancel. So if you don't want to hit the brakes and you want to cancel it, you can hit that. Or you're turning it on and off, or room set. If you've driven cruise control before, you're pretty familiar with that. Heated steering wheel, which is fantastic for us North Dakotans. And then below that is going to be your audio command. So here's your voice command button. If you just tap it, it will be Cadillac's voice command. But if you have Android Auto or Apple CarPlay activated, or even if you have your phone connected Bluetooth, if it's an iPhone, you press and hold for Siri. If it's an Android, you press and hold and it will pull up the Google Assistant. So pretty nice there. As well as your mute and hang up. Behind the steering wheel, you have your controls for your heads-up display. So this is something exclusive to Cadillac at the moment for our mid-size segment SUVs, is this is how you are going to get that heads-up display. And let's see if I can get it to show up on the camera. But I can switch through all the different information here between my speed, my RPMs and speed, and then there would be another one that's radio if I didn't have demo mode. But I can adjust that up and down, or if you really don't like it, you can turn the brightness all the way down until it disappears. But it's a really fantastic thing, so you don't have to look away from the road for your speed. So if you're in an unfamiliar area and you don't want to be using cruise control, that is definitely something handy there. But you will see, once again, you have that blind zone. And the other nice thing is where they've moved that mirror to. Since they mounted it on the door, you got a lot less blind spots. So in the past, when they mount mirrors here, you had basically this whole portion is all blocked off. But by lowering it, you could increase the aerodynamics as well as visibility. So when you're turning a corner, you don't have that blind spot anymore. Speaking of blind spots, here's going back to that camera. You can see how clear you can see people behind you. Versus if I were to line this up and try to go out that back window. Let's see if I can do it through camera here. So you got all those seats behind you, and then that little window, versus I flip that, no blind spots. Nice Bose speakers there. Your heat vents up above. Your sunroof controls everything up here, so that panoramic glass will open, as well as you do have a sunshade. You can program your garage doors here. This is also going to be something that's on our Yukons and Escalades. Let's see if I can find my hand here in the thing. You do have sonic sensors here too, so if you're worried about somebody breaking into your vehicle, there are ways to bust out a window and not set off the car alarms. Well, now with these sonic sensors, it will sense if there's something. Even if you have your window rolled down, you have your vehicle locked and somebody reaches in, this is that extra security that has those sonic sensors. You can if you're leaving a dog in the vehicle or a car and you're leaving it running, because I do not suggest leaving a person or any sort of living creature inside a vehicle when it's off, but you can disable that if you don't want those sonic sensors activated. But for as much as I can show you on a video, this is pretty much it. The test drive, I have to still take this for a test drive myself and see what it's like. I know in the sport trim they've bumped it up to 400 horsepower. That's what that 400 on that back tailgate means. Glove box, pretty standard, open up, all those other extras. It is carpet lined, so you do have a little bit nicer material in there to help with road noise. Every little bit helps. As well as this precision shift helps because you have less holes going through the floorboards, as well as the other main benefit of it is this is a whole pass-through down here. So if you have like a purse or bag, or I know in our vehicle you put Kleenex and different things down there. And I just noticed here that I almost forgot to mention you do have wireless charging right here that you can drop that in. And if I open up the center console, you can see it a little bit better. As well as a couple more outlets back there for you to plug into your Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. Charge up your phone. Your memory seats over here. Automatic retracting mirrors. Helpful in small parking spots. It does have the Wi-Fi hotspot built into it too, so that is also nice for road trips. You can have everyone log into their tablets and stream Netflix to your heart's content. But that is the XT6 for the quick walk around, even though I know it's not that quick, but a lot of features, a lot of technology in these. It's now ready for a test drive. I know we already have 2 people that are planning on coming in later this week to look at them. So call us up, schedule one today. We have one more coming here that we know of that should be here shortly, but this was the first to arrive. I'm really loving this vehicle. For all those people who don't need something as large as the Escalade, but still like the Cadillac luxuries, this is definitely the vehicle for you guys. So any questions, as always, feel free to leave a comment down below. I will get to them as quick as possible. My name is Marshall Becker. I'm the internet manager here, so feel free to give us a call too. As well as I know Brady Schwan is our Cadillac manager. Both of us are able to help out, answer any questions, and then our sales staff is constantly learning about them too, so they will know here too. If they don't know the question right off the bat, quiz them and they will find the answer for you. So enjoy the rest of your guys' Monday. I don't know of a better way to cure a Monday blues than take a new test drive in a vehicle. Even if you're not looking at purchasing, it's still nice to dream and see what's out there, especially on vehicles that have never existed before. So stop on by. We're happy to help, and enjoy your Monday.